All right, Fitz, let's get it going, baby. Our guest today is a 20-year NBA vet, a 3-time NBA champ. He is the first undrafted player to set a franchise rebounding record. He recently had his number 40 retired by the Miami Heat, and you can catch him covering the NBA on Amazon Prime. Give a big Fitz and Whit welcome to our guy, Udonis Haslem, baby.
Hey, our teammate. What's up, UD?
Man, I appreciate y'all. I'm happy to be here, fellas, and talk a little football, which is, I'll let you in on a secret, probably my favorite sport. Probably my favorite.
Let's go, baby. We got 4 championships on this show right now. It's great.
Stop. We're trying. If we count Ivy League championships, we have 6. But I'm trying to. Who's your favorite team, Udonis? Trying to figure that out, football wise.
I'm a little confused.
So if you guys haven't noticed, this is usually how I watch the game at home. So usually at home, there it is. Listen,
it's right there.
So when I'm at home, I'm watching the game like this, and I lock myself in my club room, and my wife and my kids know, like, Sundays, like, don't bother me. Like, I'm locked in. Like, if the Dolphins can control how my whole day go. If my day go good, then that means they won. My Sunday's been rough.
I'm about to say. Okay, so where are you at right now?
I got a question for him. No. We got to start with a different one, Whit. We got to start with a different one.
All right, what you got?
Now, look, UD, we know each other a little bit. You know, we've chopped it up a few times now that you're a teammate, an Amazon guy. I played for 17 years. I played on 9 teams. I bounced around. I've got thick skin. I need you to give me your scouting report of me when I was the Dolphins quarterback.
This is a good one.
Oh, man. Competitor, straight up gunslinger. You was gonna let it fly. You was not gonna hold back. You were fearless. And I always appreciated that about you. And then I got a chance to research you a little bit, and there were some times where I felt like, you could have been the starter, but, Tua came in and you handled it like a pro. And I always appreciated that about you, because it's not always like that in locker rooms.
Hell yeah. I wasn't fishing for compliments, but I do appreciate it.
Yeah. No. I'm gonna be honest with you. You let it fly. You just let it go. You had a little bit of that Brett Favre in you. I mean, it could go to the other team, but you was letting it go, though. You wasn't
only a few times. You
had a little bit of that Brett Favre in you. It might go to the other team, but you was letting it go, though. I had no quarrels with somebody that went out slinging.
I always love the gunslinger term, because you know that somebody's saying, like, hey, man, that guy wasn't afraid to throw it in anywhere, but he also threw it to the other team a couple times, too.
This is the most catchable ball ever in NFL history, Whit.
Most catchable ball. That's Fitz's slogan. By anybody. So, UD, tell us right now, obviously, you said it. It's been a rough start to the year, but bounce back against the Falcons. Where are you at right now with this Dolphins team?
I mean, I'm encouraged. I mean, you guys know this, being in the locker room, and, when you get to the point where there's nobody coming, there's no cavalry, and all you got is each other. And you reach the point where, the embarrassment has, gotten to the point where it's like, okay, we're looking at each other. It's like gut check time. So I felt like they got to that point, and they showed some resolve, which is encouraging. But it's still work to do. You know what I'm saying? I feel like, when we look at what Baltimore is doing, they're in the same situation as Miami, so they can be desperate too. So you got 2 desperate teams coming in here Thursday.
Yeah, it's always an amazing thing. It's like the phrase "winning cures all." It's so true. They had so many troubles. We're talking about firing Mike McDaniel. We're talking about his Tua the guy. They win a game. He scores or throws 4 touchdowns. All of a sudden they're back, baby, but they got to keep doing it, because so much of it is about confidence. And for you, over the years, when you had your struggles, like how did you lean in to find that confidence again? Because that was always something that, I'm always encouraged and interested to hear other guys and pros and how they do it.
Man, I had some dark days, but I think one thing that I've learned is that you got to learn how to enjoy other people's success in this business. Like, if you're only caught up in yourself and your own success, you're gonna have a miserable career, because 9 times out of 10, if you're not playing well, somebody is playing well. So you got to be able to, like, encourage that guy and, like, dive into what he's doing well. And then when your time come back around, then they'll give you that same energy, man. But I've learned that there's so much in this business that you can't control, that you really got to learn how to enjoy other people's success, man. If you're only just caught up in yourself and how you're doing and how you playing and how things are going for you, you have a miserable ass career.
Yeah, you do. You said it that way. It is the truth, man. I mean, I think the coolest part is when you're making things, bigger than just you. And it's like, it's about all of our success. And you being one of those guys considered an all-time NBA culture guy. I mean, everyone talks about what an awesome teammate, who you were day in and day out, your journey. What would you say, like when you look back, not just this team on the football field, but you look at some of these struggles they've had with the Tua and the media, and then some of the things that you felt some splintering. Like if you're in that locker room, like what's just advice you'd give to them? Like, hey man, like weathering this storm together and coming out of it as us, right?
For me, it's quiet the noise, man. Quiet the noise and focus on the people that's in this locker room. Those are the only people that matter. I think every conversation should be had between the players and the coaches. I don't think any conversations to go to the media unless that's discussed between the players and the coaches first. That's how I've always handled business. We keep everything in-house, and we protect each other. Right or wrong, you take sides for your brother, and we'll figure out what we got to do later. But at that particular moment, you know what I'm saying? I think everything should be handled in-house, and I think Tua understands that. He probably made some mistakes with speaking on certain things. But once again, I think, showing accountability for those things, which I heard he did. And then once again, like Fitz said, winning cures everything. You look at that team, and they're not that far away. I mean, Tua got 15 touchdowns. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, Stafford leads with 17. Now Tua got 10 interceptions. That's a problem. So we gotta shut that down. But if I'm not mistaken, A-Chain is got about 530 something yards, total, which that's more than like McCaffrey. That's more than like Gibbs. Like these are guys who we consider elite. So like they ain't that far off. Now defensively, they got some work to do. This is where the problems occur. The secondary has some issues. We do have the leading tackler in the NFL, in Jordan Brooks, which is good. But I think D-line, we could get a little more pressure. So we're going to have to score points because I don't think we're going to be shutting nobody down.
He's a true fan, Whit. You can hear it. All those stats mentioning guys that people don't know about. A-Chain's a stud, man. And
yes.
I was curious, if there were going to be any trade rumors with him. I heard like Kansas City, and it was like, no, please no. They don't need a weapon like that. We don't need to see Kansas City get their hands on A-Chain. But I want to go back to what you said earlier, because I think it's really important for what we do now, which is appreciating and enjoying other people's success. And so you're making the turn to TV analyst now, and you guys have the studio show going on. The first one, it was Blake and Dirk and Steve and, of course, the wonderful Taylor Rooks. But I felt like on our show, that's been a big part of it. It's been really cool to see Whit, come into his own. It's been great. Sherm's got his own vibe. Tony's got his own vibe. And Carissa is our point guard. But how do you think that first show went? And was it different than you thought it was going to be? Or give me some insight on that.
I mean, it went great. I mean, we had so much damn practice. I mean, we were practicing just to practice. We was practicing the practices. We practiced the practice of the practice. I mean, so it was so much, work behind the scenes that led up into that. I think that once we got on set, I think everybody was calm. I feel like everybody felt like we had done this 1,000 times because of the reps we had put in. It's funny that you brought that up because I wanted to know, like, when you guys first got together, like, how long did it take to break the ice and start cracking jokes on each other? We at that point right now where we teeter-tottering cracking jokes, and I'm like, I got a little shot I can fire, but I don't know if I want to let it go right now. How long did it take you guys to get to the jokes and just break the ice? Because we got a group chat right now. We have a lot of fun, but we get to the point we crack a little jokes, and we got to have some thick skin. I think
it's really important that you have to know that it's coming from a good spot. You have to know that it's coming from the right place, and you're not trying to put somebody down. And that takes a little bit of time to be able to have that trust in your teammates. A funny one that happened to us a couple weeks ago, we're in New York, and I just told Blake this because Dirk looks so awkward on the couch. And it's like, if you notice something, then like the viewer at home certainly notices it. So it's okay to like point it out. But Richard Sherman says Wan'Dale Jones instead of Wan'Dale Robinson during a highlight, and he's going on, and and I think in year one I would have let it slide. I wouldn't have said, "Oh no, Sherm, you got it wrong." But it's coming from a good place. So I said, "You mean Wan'Dale Robinson, Sherm, right?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, Wan'Dale Jones. That's my friend from home, Wan'Dale Jones." And it came into this like funny moment. But I think as long as it comes from the right place and you trust the guys that you're doing it with, then you're going to be okay. And Blake is quite the jokester, so I'm sure he's got plenty in the chamber.
Dude, you got to watch out for him because he's over there writing them at home, UD. So when you come at him, so here's the thing with Blake, though. I think this is the thing with Blake, UD, is that sometimes you got to go so personal with him. You got it because he's at home, like literally like on a chalkboard and like writing jokes about you constantly.
Well, and he's got a writer's room. Yeah.
Dude, he's got a whole entire list.
I can see that.
So you got to come after him because he's going to be ready. You know he's coming firing if you come at him.
I can see that. I think me and Blake going to be able to keep it going and go toe-to-toe. It's going to be fun. Yeah,
he got me and Stafford. We were playing in a golf event. And we're playing in the thing. He's riding by in his golf cart, and we both kind of like smiling, saying what's up. His first time we'd seen him that morning, and he looks at us and he's like, "Oh my goodness, all those pretty teeth and all that CTE." And he just like keeps rolling, and we're like, and he just drives by, and we both look at each other. And we're like, "Did he say CTE?"
Oh,
and like.
man.
But it was like so good. Like his timing, he's so good at it. But it was great. But he actually felt bad. He came back like 10 minutes later and he's like, "I'm really sorry. That was a good joke, but I feel bad about it now. So I got to apologize." But he roasted us right in front of all these people. It was so good. It was really good. He's good at it.
Hey, I'm laughing at UD when he was saying they did practice on practice and practice for practice. And yeah, we did that shooting competition. We're over there working and, breaking down the game and doing our, analysis. And we've got UD in the corner and Dirk and Steve Nash and Blake Griffin practicing 16-footers
and
to
nobody
beat us in a
more than
shooting
Taylor.
It was Taylor too. Taylor's been grinding for a month on those shots, UD.
Listen, I heard she had a shooting coach. Blake told me she actually had a I swear, Blake said, he was like, yeah, the guy, I can't remember which trainer it was. He said the trainer told him, "Hey, yeah, I just finished training Taylor." Blake said he looked at him and said, "Taylor who?" And he was like, "Taylor Rooks." So
she's so dang competitive, man.
We appreciate you guys for letting her go too. By the way, she's a star. She's a star. By the way, people tell us. I tell guys, there's always one guy in every locker room you can't get rid of. For us, it's one woman that we can't get rid of. She has really kept it together, and she makes it so easy.
She's a superstar, man. She is a superstar. We said that, really when we got a chance to be around each other, you were kind of asking, like, once we all were kind of around one another and you get to know each other's personalities and your passion for doing things. I mean, it didn't take long to realize that Taylor Rooks' star is just going to keep shooting because, man, she is really special. She's devoted to it. She has such a unique personality. It's been tough for us these last few weeks. We're happy you guys are on the team, but we're also losing some people, UD. So we're kind of keeping track a little bit of like who comes with us on Thursday nights now and travels, who stays home. We're kind of the new child is in the house and we're the older sibling that's like, all right, now how much do you give him for his birthday? What are they getting? So we're tracking, UD. We're watching now.
And listen, we appreciate you guys' sacrifice. We appreciate you guys' sacrifice. That's what it's all about. The team is sacrificing.
UD, I want to ask you. I thought it was amazing, and watching your guys' first show. And you guys, I don't even want to watch our first shows because it's probably laughable at how bad it was and how good we thought we were doing. But I got to give you a ton of props. The segment that you guys did, where you did the pick and roll, and you have the LED basketball court, and you're doing the X's and O's, and just teaching. What are you guys trying to accomplish in general with that studio show? Because it certainly seems like, at least for that initial one, that there's going to be some teaching going on to try to further the knowledge of the game of basketball.
Yeah, I think we want to make sure that people see the game within the game. You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of times people see the end result and they don't understand exactly how teams got to the end result. I want you to understand why they specifically are targeting this player. It might not be because they want to get this player in foul trouble. It might be because they want to get somebody else open. So they're targeting this guy because they know on the switch, this guy is going to miscommunicate and this guy is going to get open. So it's so many little details that go on within the game. And I'm sure you guys understand that in football as well, that we want to kind of break it down for the common fan at home that sit on the couch can understand exactly what's going on. And also on the other side of it, I think that we're starting to lose the teaching part of the basketball game. When I watch NBA games when I'm watching the game at home, I am complaining. Nobody is taking their 2-9. If you're on the weak side, you should have 1 foot, or at least most of the time 2 feet, but at least 1 foot in the paint on that weak side, taking your 2.9. We do not take our 2.9. Another thing on defense, we do not communicate. I can watch a whole defensive possession and I see nobody on defense talking. We used to talk every single time. I'm low man. I'm at the nail. Here, I'm the rotation guy. Every single time. And that was just a habit. So I'm just watching these habits being lost. And I don't understand why. Let's go back to the old, if it's not broke, don't fix it. You know what I'm saying? So those are the things that I think we want to get back to. But we don't want to make it like school. It's not like class. We want to enjoy it. We want to have fun. We want to highlight the athleticism. We want to do all those things. But we also want to tell you why those athletes are getting the spectacular plays that they're getting.
Yeah, and when you look at you talk about those little things. Like I always wanted this because y'all's season's so much longer than ours, right? I mean, when you get into a football season, it's like every single week is so pivotal, and these little tiny things end up. You're like, man, you can look back at a team season. It's like, man, there's 4 plays that might dictate an entire year for a team. But for you guys, it's such a long journey. And as you sit there right now, like, what do you look at early in the year right now to kind of tell you, hey, these are some things I identify about this team, or little things like you're talking about that when we get towards the end of this season, they're going to be a contender, or they're going to be a team that I think is going to be better and better. What are some of those little things you're looking for?
Teams that are in shape early. I know a lot of times, and there was this old thing where, we come into training camp out of shape, and we'll play our way into shape, and we'll get in shape during preseason, and then by the time the season comes, we'll hit the ground running. No, your ass going to hit the ground and get hurt. You need to come in shape and be ready to go. So I immediately take notice to the teams that come in shape and that are getting up and down the floor and that are ready to go. That doesn't mean they're doing everything right, but that means that they actually put themselves in a position to be successful early. I think a lot of teams come into training camp and those guys aren't in shape, and they kind of try to play themselves into shape and trying to get into a rhythm. I believe in hitting the ground running, coming to training camp, so you don't have to spend time getting in shape. So you can spend time creating a system, implementing your culture, getting if you want to change how you play. For instance, the Miami Heat this year, we went from playing as a slow team to playing as a fast team. In the past, the Miami Heat has been the slowest team in the NBA, or one of the slower offensive teams in the NBA. Through preseason and through these first 3 or 4 games, the Miami Heat has been one of the faster paces teams in the NBA. So those are things that you need to. You can't come into training camp and be out of shape. You need to be in training camp. You need to be in shape because we run as soon as we get in here, because this is a new system for everybody, and we need to learn it, and we need to do it every single day and create these habits. So those are things that I look at immediately. If you come in shape, immediately you get my attention because you're serious.
All right. So does it pain you, though, that the Miami Heat, I mean, you play faster, which means you're going to give up more points probably too, 115 points a game. Is this just the new NBA? 115 points is good now, holding opponents too? Because I know it's always been an organization that's prided themselves on defense.
I have been a little bit disappointed so far in the defense in the preseason. In the early season. In the early season, we've had about 3 or 4 50-point games, which is a lot. We've had about 7 40-point games, which is a lot. So I'm, once again, putting it on the habits and the things that are being taught in training camp. I think we're getting away from our defensive habits. We're not taking our 2-9 on the weak side. We're not communicating. We're not keeping our eye on the ball. Just those small things. But I also attribute it to the offense being a little different now. I think offenses are taking more pages out of the pages of the European offense, basketball. More movement without the ball, less pick and rolls, a lot of cutting, a lot more space. Instead of being a catch and go, they're doing a go and catch where they're catching it on the move downhill, just like a football play. You know what I'm saying? So you're already getting that ball to those guys on the move, so it's harder to stay in front of these guys. So I think it's a little bit of bad habits and just a changing of the way the game's being played offensively, and more so taking a page out of the European style of basketball.
You think the skill level, right, just as a whole, not the most skilled guys now versus when you started, but you think as a whole the skill level is much higher than it was 20, 25 years ago? Oh,
yes, for sure. 10 times more. These guys are way more talented than we ever were. I think where you give us the edge is on the grit and the grit and mental toughness part. I think when you talk about the talent that this generation has and, just natural ability, I think it's unmatched. It's not even close. Like, these guys do things that we could never do. You know what I'm saying? But if you lock us in the room with those guys, I think we got a chance just because of our toughness and just because of our toughness and, how we were built.
You ain't getting out of this room.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you say that, I just think of Wemby. I mean, it's like, dude, watching this guy, it literally looks like AI. Like, it doesn't even look real. I mean, the guy, it's like I'm sitting there thinking to myself while I'm watching it, we like guys, you're trying to think of, like, if you're a vet in that locker room, you're like, all right, I'm going to tell the guys this is how you can handle it better, or this is what our answers could be. And I'm going, man, I wonder what in the world they tell guys. Like, hey, listen, he's just going to get his. Like, I don't know what the answer is.
He is 7'5", and they say he grew to 7'6". He literally blocked 3 shots, dribbled the ball, and pulled up like 2 steps across half. That's unguardable. That is unguardable. Yeah, you know what? This is where you got to tell your guys, listen, for 4 quarters, just make sure you contest everything. He's going to make tough shots. Just stay mentally tough and just hope that in the 4th quarter, it starts to be a little bit left. It starts to be a little right. It starts to be short. You know, one of my teammates, the guy that I'm on set right now with, Dirk Nowitzki, listen, plenty of eyeball sandwiches contesting Dirk shots. Plenty of them.
Yep.
I got to stay with it. I got to contest every time. I can't get discouraged. I got to stay with it. And maybe over the course of 48 minutes, it starts to go a little left. It starts to go a little right. Now he's short. But these guys are great. These guys are great players.
I think with Dirk, you can intimidate him a little bit because I have a buddy, Andrew Whitworth, that participated in a shooting contest versus Dirk. Was it 3 3-pointers, Whit?
We shot 3. I mean, he went over 3. I made 1. You know what I mean? It's the highlight of my life. Unfortunately, it's not documented, but I do have a picture of me celebrating, and it will be the only thing I'll tell people, you know, because listen, I grew up in North Louisiana. I was a Mavericks fan, been to plenty of Mavericks games. So I was a massive Dirk fan. And to even get the chance, I told somebody the other day, they're like, man, how do you like Thursday Night Football? I said, let me tell you what I love about Thursday Night Football. What I just got to do last week, to be with you guys, like hanging out with some absolute legends of the NBA, guys I admire, watch, you yourself, and just sit there and be like, man, where am I right now? This is crazy. Like, this is the coolest thing ever. We're in this 6 studio. I'm hanging out with Dirk and Steve and UD and Blake. I mean, it's just, it was wild. That was a really cool night, but that was definitely the top of it.
I think we all had that moment, for sure. I think we all had that moment. I mean, I had the same moment sitting up there with you guys. Like I said, you know, before you guys were sitting up there and doing the TNF thing, you know, what you guys were doing as players, you know, I'm a huge fan. Like I said, every Sunday I'm sitting in front of the TV and I'm watching and I'm paying attention and, you know, just the success and the way you guys played the game. I'm a huge fan, man. So this is like me, you know, a kid in a candy store. Like I said, I'm from Florida. We sprinkle in some basketball, but you know how we do when it comes to that football.
We didn't even mention Red Panda either, guys. I mean, we were.
Oh my gosh, crazy!
We were witnessing greatness. The comeback is real. She's back, baby.
Listen,
after
that view
wrist
of
injury.
Sherm celebrating. I mean,
listen, Blake set the bar high with that one. Blake set the bar high.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome.
I don't know how we topped that one.
I don't either.
I'm always impressed, and I think it's hard when you watch basketball on TV. It's hard to realize like how big everybody is, and always seeing you guys, it's insane on the height. But why do NBA guys lie about their height?
I don't know, because I was lying too. Y'all probably know I'm not 6'8". Y'all probably
That's the first thing you do when we met each other. You
were
and I
lying.
meet each other. We meet each other. He goes, man, you know we lie about our height, right? And I'm like, what? And we walk up, and he's like, I ain't 6'8". I was like, no, you ain't.
Not even close, man. I don't know. Dwayne lies too. He's not 6'4". He's not 6'4". I think it only matters when you're a short guy, because tall guys, because Kevin Durant's trying to lie and be shorter. He doesn't want to be a 7 foot. He's legit 7 feet. So I just think it's a position thing. When you're a big guy, you want to be taller, and maybe when you're a guard, you don't. If you're tall, you don't want to be as tall because you don't want to be considered a big. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think it's just a mental thing, because I heard this, and I'm not sure, but I heard this a few years ago when I was playing with Bron. I heard Bron only allow his shoes to go up to a 16 because he didn't want big men to wear his shoes. He only wanted his shoes for guards. You know what I'm saying? So so it's this thing where big men are looked at as maybe not as marketable, maybe not as cool, and the guards are maybe the cool people.
Sorry,
always
Whit,
hate
no
on us.
LeBrons. No LeBrons.
No LeBrons for the big fella.
It don't matter, Whit. They can't get it without us.
That's it, baby. They ain't getting nowhere without us.
They ain't getting nowhere without us.
Nowhere. I tell Fitz that every week.
What kind of player would you have been if you played in the NFL? What position you think you would have played?
Defensive end, and that's what I played for a little while. But UD took one in the knee, and it was an airtime decision. UD took one in the knee. It was an airtime decision.
That's it, Coach.
Yeah, and it was about 10th grade.
Coach.
Yeah, it was about 10th grade, fellas. And at that time, I thought I had a chance. I was pretty good at defensive end and tight end. I thought I had a chance, and I was coming around, and I had a clear shot at the QB, and I was about to get there. And right before I got there, somebody got me, folded me up like a lawn chair. And I just remember heading off the field, and I don't know how, but pads was coming off as I was leaving the field. This came off, that came off. This came off, this went that way, and I never went back. I just never went back.
Yeah. That's awesome. Well, UD, let me ask you this. All right, obviously this is a big week. I mean, Dolphins coming off a win. Ravens might have Lamar back, might not. What do you think the keys are Thursday night for these Dolphins getting it done?
Man, because both teams struggle defensively. I thought about what you said the other day when you talked about Pittsburgh and that not being the team that we knew defensively. This is not the same Ravens defense that we're used to seeing.
No.
This is not what we usually see with the Ravens. So, man, I'm thinking, like, when I look at both of these teams, it's going to be who can get some stops. Like, because both teams are probably going to score on each other. Like, so who can sprinkle in some turnovers and get a couple of stops here and there? And I think that's what it's going to come down to, because I think both teams are going to be able to score. I don't think nobody's going to be shutting nobody down. So if you can create some turnovers and maybe get some stops, I think that's what it's going to come down to. And with them getting Lamar back, I mean, that's just going to make it that much more tough, because you all know once you get your superstar back, that just gives you a boost to your locker room. Like, now everybody's infused, everybody's energetic. We got our boy back. And I don't think it's a coincidence that he came back against the Dolphins.
Yeah.
But that's what I was in NFL, you don't have the runs.
He's a local boy.
Yeah.
He is a local.
Yeah.
So they're going to be jacked up. He's there. But,
Yeah.
in the NFL, you don't have the runs that you get in basketball where, like, you can start a game, get down 20, you're going to come back, those kind of things. And in NFL, especially primetime games, it seems like the key is going to be them first couple series is if they can get up there and get some stops, get the run game stopped for the Ravens, get some quick scores, get some momentum. It's just amazing how many NFL games, if you can just get the first quarter, that you dominate it, that you can get yourself in a position to kind of control the rest of the game.
So I got a question for you guys. And this is what I see with the Dolphins in the offense, and maybe you help me out with Tua. The first option, he's great. It's when he has to try to get to that second, maybe third option. Is it a little happy feetish? Is it a little, is it a little uncomfortable for him? Or is that just me?
So here's the thing with Tua, that Tua's always been great at timing throws, rhythm throws, accuracy, anticipation. Those are like his elite traits. And I think what we've seen in the last few years, which is crazy, he's holding on to the ball a little bit more from 2 years ago, which was his best season, but his yards per attempt have gone down from 9 to 6 yards. So you've got a less explosive offense and a guy that's holding on to it a little bit more. He knows what his superpowers are. And unfortunately, with his injuries and things, he went from a guy that hasn't been able to create great when you get outside the confines of the offense to really there's not a whole lot coming at all, because he's worried about staying on the field. He's worried about staying healthy and avoiding some of those big hits. So that's where the problem lies. If he's holding the ball for more than 2.5 seconds, it becomes a problem. But you see the greatness that's still in there. That touchdown to Waddle last week. Go back and watch that throw and watch the anticipation when that ball leaves his hand, where he throws it, where Waddle is on the field when he throws that football. That's the magic of this offense, of the 49ers, is he's catch and run throws. And I think, as people have seen exactly what you said, like, let's get this guy off his first read. Let's clog the middle of the field. Let's make him throw outside the numbers, that it's gotten more difficult for them. And so the big thing now is how do they adjust? And I think the other thing that always goes back to quarterback play, and what I was kind of hinting at earlier with you, is confidence. It's amazing what confidence can do, not just to a quarterback, but any athlete. And with Tua, it seems like he's lost a little bit of his confidence this year. And you've seen that kind of maybe with some of the things he's said in the media. You've seen it with some of those multiple interception games, but that confidence can come back real quick. And hopefully last week, the 4-touchdown performance has good vibes in that locker room, and he's going to come out firing again this week. From
your perspective, obviously, you being an offensive lineman and your quarterback struggling. Because I remember when D-Wade was struggling one time, I went to the room and I had a book that I was reading. Literally, I'll never forget. It was a book called Reflections from T.D. Jakes I was reading. And listen, it's a different, because he's a scorer, he's getting the ball in his hands, he holds a whole different responsibility than me. But this is something that I use when I'm going through hard times. You sometimes pull your quarterback aside when they're struggling and have those conversations, or how does that work with quarterback and linemen?
Yeah, I think there's always subtle things. I think sometimes in life, you could say this about a lot of different aspects. I don't care what it is, community service or anything you want to do in a positive light. I think sometimes we make it way bigger than it is, in the sense of, man, it's the subtle little things that just help people kind of reset their mindset and what they want to do and build confidence. And so I think of it like, there's plenty of opportunities probably when I played with younger quarterbacks where it might have been more of a conversation. and it more have been like a, hey man, why don't you and I go grab a cup of coffee or let's go sit somewhere and just chill. And, I don't look at it like, hey, I'm sitting here listing things you need to do. I look at it like, let's have a natural conversation. And if we kind of lean to talking some ball, like, well, I'll kind of shed some things that I think you should think about. Like, not necessarily you have to do them, but I think you should think about. Like, I look at one, obviously with Andy Dalton, with Jared Goff, there was plenty of that. But even one that was probably the hardest for me, playing with Matthew Stafford, somebody that I thought was an absolute legend, going to be a Hall of Famer. I was only with him for one season. We win the Super Bowl, obviously, but in that year, we had started the season really well, and he had started on fire. And then we had a 3-game losing streak where we had a rough stretch, and he had a rough game against the Titans, had like a pick six early in the game. And I'll never forget, I was like, man, all right, how do you reach like a vet who's done it all? He's made it all. Like, I don't know, like in what way can I, without it, like us being just peer to peer, can I do this? I actually was just like, hey man, what do you got Monday night? Like, I knew we had some time off. He's like, man, I'm not sure what you got in mind. I was like, why don't we go down to Nobu, Malibu? Like, let's go like have a sweet dinner on the water, little reflect, I'm setting up a little like reflection time. I know what's going to happen. We're going to have 1 or 2 drinks. You're going to look out over that ocean, the sunset a little bit, and you're going to be like, damn, it's cool as hell where we are, what we're getting to do. And we did that. We had an awesome dinner, and I'll never forget his wife texting me the next day, and she was like, that dinner was pretty special. Like, that was really cool. You did that. Like, he's in a whole different mood today. And that led to us starting every Tuesday morning. We would meet. We called it the Breakfast Club. And the rest of the season, all the way through the Super Bowl, even when we won it, we would meet every Tuesday morning for breakfast down in Malibu, just like have breakfast together, have some coffee. And we ended up inviting the wives by the end of the year. And it became like a thing. It was kind of we're all veterans. We're the oldest dudes in the locker room. Let's go spend some time to just get away from it for a minute. And so it wasn't necessarily words of wisdom in that moment as much as it was like, hey man, let me just remind you, man, like it's a blessing, not a burden, bro. Like what we get to do, as stressful as it may seem, as pissed off as you might be in a moment, man, it is a blessing. We get to go get out on these fields and play football and get paid to do it. And don't ever twist it in your mind that it's something else. And so that was really what that moment was about to me. And Lord, I'm thankful for him because it led to me getting my only championship in my life. So I'm forever grateful to Nine. That's for sure.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
That's awesome. I would also say, and it was funny and interesting you talking about Dwayne Wade losing his confidence. It's like you never really think you see that, but it happens all the time, and the quarterbacks are the same way. Sometimes it takes a teammate coming up to you and telling you that they believe in you. I think that's a huge part of it too. Is
4 most powerful words in the world.
It's it, man. And so, I look at this Miami team, UD, with when Tua took off after Flores left. Why did he take off? He was in a great offense with Mike McDaniel, what was happening. But Mike McDaniel came in and he said those 4 words. He said, I believe in you.
Yes.
And that breathes so much confidence into Tua. And somewhere along the way in these last few seasons, that's been lost a little bit. But I think it's important to know, as a person in a position of leadership, as a person like Tua, where everything falls on his shoulders, it's important for him to hear that from his teammates too.
And that you brought that up, I think that's what bothered me the most about the comments that Tua made when he made the comments about the leadership, because Mike McDaniels did believe in you. He did rebuild your confidence. He did rebuild your confidence, and he did pay you. So regardless of where you were thinking about Mike McDaniels when you questioned the leadership in front of the media, that's where the kind of looked at when you said what you said. But he was the guy who had your back when a couple people questioned you, and when the city was questioning you, when Flores was questioning you, and people didn't know. Mike McDaniels came in and he had your back, and he believed in you, and he built you back up. So I think that's what really bothered me about Tua's comments. I know as players we get sensitive, so I know. We're very sensitive. We're all sensitive. So
we are that.
Yeah, we're very sensitive. So I know Tua was being a little sensitive, but I felt like he kind of didn't think about McDaniels in that moment, who had his back from day one. You know what I'm saying?
Can you?
Yeah, you're right.
Can you think of any more turning points? There's 3 years that you won the NBA championships. Can you think of a turning point in one of those seasons that you were involved in that just got things, maybe they weren't feeling great, headed in the right direction?
Yeah. I never forget. We were in Toronto, and I think this was it might have been a Super Bowl. I think this was the Seattle Super Bowl. This is the one with Seattle, and they didn't give Marshawn the ball.
Patriots.
Yeah, and didn't give him the ball. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, we were in Toronto, and we have been going through a little tough stretch. And right after that game in Toronto, we decided to stay, and we rented out like an area for drinks and food, and we watched the game. And I just remember all of us we was tipsy. We was a little tipsy. And I just remember Shane Battier standing up on the bus and started giving this speech about touching the people and how thankful we should be to be in the situation we're in, and how we should just enjoy each other and their success. And it was just a whole bunch of like spiritual talk, but I don't know where it was coming from at that time, but we were going through a tough time. And it was more so about not just basketball, but more so just like, man, just enjoy where we at, enjoy each other, and enjoy people, and enjoy people that want to see you play, enjoy people that look up to you, and just enjoy all of this. Because a lot of times when you chase the championships, and we were in a situation with that big three where it was a lot of pressure on us to chase championships, that we forgot what it felt like just to be playing a game of basketball. We forgot what it felt like just to have the opportunity to be out there in that court. Because we went on that streak. Everything was about that 27-game winning streak, if you guys remember. So every single game, are you guys going to keep the streak going? Who's going to break the streak? And literally, it became about more than basketball for us. And it was so miserable. It was so miserable for us that when we finally, I think we lost a game, or we lost a couple games, and then we started to feel a little down about it. And Shane gave that touch the people speech, and we should be thankful, we should be happy, we should be joyful. And we went on another 12-game winning streak after that, and literally went into the playoffs and won another championship. But it was one of those weird moments where, as successful as we were kind of getting bored with the process, if that makes sense. Bored with the process, bored with the process, and lost a couple games, and you're seeing each other every day, and you start to lose sight of how special those moments really are. Because after that big three moment, it took me forever to get back to the damn finals. it took forever.
I love that. That's the truth, man. It really is. It's like sometimes you get lost in when people use that phrase, it's darkest before the dawn. It really is one of those things. Sometimes the darkest moments are right before it all turns, and you just got to keep hitting the wall and keep hammering through. And you're right, man. It's funny how in those moments we all do get so sensitive, and you start overreacting, and then all of a sudden you get a win and everything's healthy again, right? And you start moving in the right direction. Because I'll never forget, even that year, UD, to that story, one of the reasons that created the pressure, we had just traded for Von Miller, and we had just traded for Odell Beckham. So it was this, just signed Odell Beckham, and so it was this expectation of all these things we were supposed to do now, and all of a sudden we go on a losing streak, and it's you start to feel oh man, everybody's expecting this of you, and you're worried about the expectations more than you are just going out and playing good ball and having fun and doing how you got here, right? Just going out and playing and enjoying the game and being great at it and having a passion for it. So it is crazy how you lose sight of those things in the moment. And, I think for the Dolphins this week, that's why I think it's such a huge opportunity for them, because this past weekend bought them a reset. Yes. And now it's regardless, I'm not talking win or loss, we all know that. Regardless, how they come out Thursday night and compete together is a chance for them to continue now to start a whole new narrative, right? Regardless, win or loss, how we go out and fight together. Fitz and I were a part of an 0-8 team that got a chance to go do that. And I mean, you see it, even in your worst moments, when you click that over and start all pulling together, it's cool.
Whit, it reminds me of, when I went 10-0 at Harvard my senior year, and we were doing those economics problem sets late on Thursday night, just grinding, trying to figure that. No, is that what it? No. Hey, UD, my son is a freshman at Harvard right now, just a student, and I got a picture the other day. He's at the football game watching. I'm happy. He's been a Harvard football fan since the day he was born. That's the only place he's wanted to go, because that's where mom and dad both went. And he's watching the game, and he's got his laptop out, and he's doing his homework in the stands at the game.
So we got to put the laptop down.
Yeah.
Brady, we're not going to make any friends that way. What are we doing? Come on, Brady.
But at least he's doing his homework, though, Fitz. I mean,
you're right.
You're right.
What's your situation with kids, UD? How many kids you have?
I got 3 boys, man. I like to make love with my socks on. I got all boys, man. I ain't got no girls, man. I've been trying. I can't get a girl, man. oh, these damn boys ain't gonna stick by me, man. I know they're not gonna stick by me.
You gone. They gone.
They gone, man. They gone.
Hey, I leave town, UD. I don't hear it. My girls text me constantly. I leave town, my boys, nothing. Not unless they need something, right? Like, hey, Dad, I need you to blah, blah, blah. Yeah. That's it. No, hey, how you doing, Dad? How's your trip?
Bro.
Like, none of that.
Bro. That is it, man. So I'm making sure I'm going to save my money because they ain't going to take care of me. I know this for a fact.
Yeah. Well, I mean, depending on where you're at in your journey there, I could tell you I've got some methods and ways to have a girl.
Oh, boy.
So
stop.
You let me know. I've got 7, UD. I had 2 boys.
Constitution again?
Then I had I had 4 girls in a row, so I know the ways. I'll hit you up offline and we could talk about it if you're still interested.
For sure. It started with wearing that shirt too. Give me one of them shirts for sure. Let me get one of them. For sure. Let me get one of them.
You're having a girl if you get one of those. I guarantee
for sure. I might have triplets.
It got discontinued for some reason. I don't know why.
That thing look good on you, Fitz.
I just got I got a couple more just curious questions. We asked Blake Griffin this and told him that we had bed checks when we had to travel on the road, and he laughed in my face. You guys never have bed checks.
Bed checks.
Never had bed checks. No.
What was your favorite city to go to?
ATL,
as a player?
Man. ATL. Listen.
I was just there.
Magic. Listen.
Good hot wings.
It was some good times in Magic City. Listen, this is what I.
The wings are great.
This is what I would tell you guys. It's a lot easier to manage 15 guys going out than it is to manage 53. Like we used to move in unison. We get in together, we get out together. Like we moving at the same time, and like everybody, so we can keep up with each other when it's 15. So it was a lot tougher for the amount of guys that you guys.
Now
I learned that from
all
Shaq.
The same hotel.
Yes.
Same hotel?
Yes,
Did y'all always stay at the same places?
Yes,
all that type of stuff?
We always stayed at the same. And I learned that from Shaquille O'Neal, man. My first championship, we won the first championship together. And that was the year of popping bottles. See, this generation don't pop bottles no more. That was popping bottles. So every city we would land in, Shaq was having a party, or Dwayne was having a party, or Antoine Walker was having a party, or Gary Payton. Somebody was having a party.
Love it.
But what everybody understood is that we're going to go together, we're going to stay an hour and a half, maybe 2, and we're going to leave together. And that was it. And that's how we moved.
So as the old head later in your career, you became the party planner, the event coordinator?
Yes, I did become the party planner, the event coordinator. That would be me. That would be me. But it was different. It was different though. Like I said, they don't pop bottles no more. They don't have to do that. So it was more so just planning dinner, paintball, whatever these kids like to do, man. I got to meet them where they at. You know what I'm saying? And I can't just expect them to come.
Yeah,
Fitz. I play PlayStation. I do it all, man. You got to meet them where they at. They gamers. They like they game in the dark. I walk in the room, all the lights off in their game, and I'm like, yo, my old ass will fall asleep. Like I will fall asleep. They game.
Yep.
Oh, it makes it real. It makes it real. Makes it real.
This isn't real. What do you mean makes it real?
Yes, this you
nothing about this is real.
You feel my pain with it? You know what I'm talking about. You've seen this.
UD, this is my moment that I realized it's time, okay? I come in from a walkthrough my last year. We have a young rusher who's been struggling with some knee issues, really bad to get on the field. And I'm like, Saturday walkthrough, we're playing tomorrow at 1 o'clock. And I'm like, hey, man, he's rushing out of the locker room. I'm like, where are you rushing to? He's like, oh, man, me and some of my homies, they're in town. We're going to go ride some dirt bikes out on the desert. And I'm like, wait. What? Like, you hadn't been on the field because your knee's bothering you, and you're headed to ride dirt bikes, and you play in 24 hours? Like, I'm out. I'm done. Yeah. That's it. I'm done. If I got to explain that one to you, I'm out. This generation is different. I'm done. Yeah. I got nothing to. You're starting tomorrow. Yes. You do realize that, right? But it's crazy. It is so different, this generation and how they do things. To your point, I used to do that. It is wild how much that stopped. My first year in LA, I planned a party at the end of camp, and guys were like, what? Wait, well, why would we have a party? I'm like, no, it's just like we've been in camp together. So, like, let's break some bottles and eat some food and hang out together. Like, it was crazy having to explain to them, like, getting together, like hanging out with your teammate. It was wild.
Yeah, it's not like that.
My deal was when, in the NFL, UD, pretty much on every team I was on, we'd have O-line dinner. So usually it was the quarterbacks and the O-linemen that would go out, usually the night after weigh-ins, because you're always worried about weigh-in the morning of. And so you'd go, you'd celebrate, just break bread, have a good time. And towards the tail end of my career, order all the apps and everything else. And, it's like 4 of the new linemen are just eating salads, no steaks. They're not touching the potatoes. They're not touching the mac and cheese. And that's when I knew I had to get out. It's a different NFL now. It's a different generation. But I'm still enjoying my steaks and my potatoes.
Man, the linemen,
too many of them we do.
The linemen's supposed to always eat the steaks and mashed potatoes. And
that's what I'm saying.
They changed. Now they got diet plans and the whole
Hey, and don't say, oh yeah, they look at Whit. Whit has undergone it.
Now
if you would have met Whit in college, Whit was if you did the NBA height, he was 6'9", 380 pounds in college. And now he's 6'7", 290 pounds. The transformation has been insane, but he works his butt off at it too. How's your workout regimen these days?
Oh man, every day I hit the ground running. I hit the gym first, and from that point on, I like to load my days up. So I'm vice president of player development with the Miami Heat. So anytime I'm in town and they have practice, I get a chance to go there and I get to practice with the guys. We have shoot around this morning. I went to shoot around this morning. They had practice yesterday. I went to practice yesterday, so I get a chance to scratch my itch and still play and still have.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I still get a chance to. Don't let me hit a shot. Oh, I'm gonna talk.
Oh, they're not gonna hear the end of it.
Man, listen, I might call you 7:30 that night. Hey, you remember that shot I hit on you today? Like, do not let me make a shot. So, I mean, today I did a shooting contest with one of the guys. We went in sudden death overtime. He beat me in sudden death overtime. But the fact that I can still just go shoot shot for shot with those guys. So. Just as much as I'm able to give them with my leadership and my wisdom, they give it back to me and 10 times more, man. Just keeping me young and enjoying and staying around the game and all these little nuances now that are changing with the NBA. And I need to be up on these things when I get up there on that desk with Taylor and with Blake and Dirk, and I need to be up on all these little nuances and all these little changes as the game continues to evolve.
Okay. Last thing, what's the cadence? Like your Prime Video, you guys, are you every Friday right now? What's the schedule for you guys?
Right now we're every Friday, and I think towards the end when you guys start to move off a little bit, I think we'll start taking Thursdays and Fridays. But right now we're Fridays. Following up behind you guys, obviously what you guys are doing on Thursdays is amazing. So we just want to continue to try to emulate that kind of success, but obviously in our own way with our own personalities and our own team, man. But you guys definitely set the bar high for sure.
And I know the spots in LA, but if you ever need one, you're talking to the mayor of LA, Andrew Whitworth, right there, so he can hook you up.
And Arizona, Fitz. I might be spending some time in Arizona too now, Fitz. I might be spending some time.
Come through Gilbert. He's got you connected.
Yeah, so I can show you where the dairy farms are. Yeah. You don't want to hang out where I'm hanging out, UD.
Nah, I might
dairy farms and coffee.
I might surprise you, Fitz, man. I might surprise you. Trust me.
All right.
He's so full of it. He owns the whole dairy farm. Don't let him act like it's something small. Listen, the guy owns half the city.
Of course he does. Of course he does.
I wish.
Of course he does.
I wish.
Harvard.
Well, thank
Harvard
you, brother.
Guy. Of course he does.
Stop it, man. Thank you for joining us, UD. Appreciate it, man.
Thank you.
Appreciate you, bro.
Happy to have you.
We're excited to watch you guys, man.
Thank you, guys, and I appreciate you taking the time, man. And once again, this is a big deal for me. You know what I'm saying? I'm acting calm because I'm used to doing interviews, but it's a big deal for me, man. Football. I'm gonna stop saying might be. Football is my favorite sport, man. So in my heart and in my soul, I've always been a football player. So this is cool for me to be on this platform with y'all, man. Thank y'all.
Appreciate it, UD.
Thanks, brother.
All right, fellas, have a good one.